Is the because I see your camera's the other way. You want me to turn it?
It's totally up to you. Whatever you want.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we can see the Stanley Cup champion shirt. We got to show off the
this way.
Stanley Cup champion shirt.
Yeah.
So how long have you had that for? Can't be too long.
No, I just got this. Literally, my best friend Kara just got it for me.
That's awesome. 2020 Stanley Cup champions. So I guess I'll start with asking that. I mean, first of all, I think this is pretty cool. I mean, I know that I interview people about sports for a living, but I'm not really interviewing you. Just kind of like wanted to have a conversation with you because this is going to be awesome.
Quick little chat and catch up on the Tampa Bay teams.
Yes, right. Gotta have my Tampa Bay beat reporter live from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But like I was thinking, I'm like, wait a second. You and I both for our jobs like speak in front of a bunch of people. Like you more often, I guess, in actual like live crowds, right? With how many
of course, yeah.
And me, I mean, I hope there are just as many people watching at home, and occasionally in front of a live crowd for different occasions, but for TV through the camera. But I think that's so funny. Like you and I individually speak in front of people, but here we are on the same video chat, and hopefully people can watch it.
Well, like we were saying the other day, is the fact that we both have director in our title now is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that next. Is like we've got sports director, we've got cruise director. Like you've always been good with coming up with titles of shows. Like I feel like we'd call this like something along the lines of like direct or not.
I haven't even thought about a name. I'll get back to you on that though.
Yeah, what do we call this video chat? Our live a monthly or weekly updates on our Tampa Bay sports team.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, hopefully within a weekend or week and a half, Tampa Bay's going to get another championship in the. Yeah.
So wait, but first, before we get to that, first thing is that I do want to say to anyone who's watching that knows me, but not you, that if you want to introduce yourself, and I have been glad to talk with you about sports for a long time. It should also go down on the record, formally, that you, Frankie, knocked me out of the playoffs in Fantasy Football League a few years ago, and we have never played in the same league since. Because
that was the first time. That was the first and only time. I don't know why we didn't do it the second year.
I don't know. It's been like 5 years since that one, but
yeah.
Maybe
I can't remember if I won the league or if I got second place, but I did knock you out. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We are fierce competitors. And being a New York sports fan, New Jersey sports fan, I'm used to.
I'm sorry.
Out of the playoffs.
I'm sorry.
But all right, is there any introduction you want to give for yourself? Cruise director, sports director. That's all people.
No, that's good. Yeah, my name's Frankie. I'm a cruise director, and it's just love sports and the way Tampa's been playing the last little bit, and all the teams. It's awesome to see Tampa being mentioned as a championship town. It's great.
Yeah. Which city do you think is currently most jealous of Tampa Bay? Because usually you think of like sports cities, right? And right now, Tampa Bay, you got the Stanley Cup Lightning champions in 2020.
Yep.
You got the Tampa Bay Rays at the moment. They're the AL champions for the second time ever.
The World Series. Yep.
Very close to 4 games away from winning the World Series. We all know the Dodgers have choked in the World Series a few times recently.
Yeah.
And even though I'm kind of rooting for the Dodgers, but predicted the Tampa Bay Rays to win. But then you've got Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, who are suddenly doing really well. I'm definitely going to try and add their defense on fantasy this week.
Their defense stepped up. Their defense was the reason that we beat the Packers last week.
Yeah,
they got the momentum going, and that pick six just started everything off.
Yeah, once I was like, I think you mean it's the Packers game. Immediately it turned around. I was like, nah, no, you're right. It
was all your fault. It was all your fault.
I was wearing my Rodgers jersey, but what can I say?
It was kind of bittersweet because on my fantasy team I actually I have 2 quarterbacks, and I had Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Both playing against each other. I thought it'd be what I read up on it. Everyone said thought it was gonna be a high scoring game. So I was like, yep, I got this. And then Aaron Rodgers got me like 3 points.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's all good. Took my first loss in fantasy football this week.
Some people say that it's to a fault if you really like a player. And Aaron Rodgers is my favorite athlete of all time at the moment. And I've always, even before he won that Super Bowl in 2010, I liked his style of play and everything. And that's when I got into it, like 10, 11 years ago now. And so I have him, and I've been starting him over Patrick Mahomes. And people are like, you're crazy. And every week I would start Mahomes or I'd start Rodgers. And I get the choice wrong every week. Except for, last week. Well, I got it right one week. Then last week, Mahomes was on a bye. And then this week, I started Mahomes and Rodgers crashed. So I've gotten more right than wrong now.
Yeah, my rule of fantasy is that you have your starters and they start it's just like if Brady loses 2 games in a row, he's still going to start next week. Like you have your starters, you start them and you stick with them, and if they go on a cold streak, then you think about changing them out. But
yeah, well, Mahomes was like my first round pick, or he was last year also. But if I had started Ryan Tannehill at the end of last year over Patrick Mahomes, because Mahomes had 1 interception and I missed the playoffs by 24 hundredths of a point because of injuries and stuff, how that worked out,
And it's all because of Pat Mahomes.
Well, it's not.
Oh,
It's not only, I think like 20.
Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Miss Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Or just Mahomes. We got to be
Mahomes.
just Mahomes. But wait, enough of the fantasy sports. I want to talk about real life. Does it feel like a fantasy? You're wearing the Stanley Cup champions shirt for this year. The Lightning actually won. Is it still?
I feel like we should have had it last year too. That first series against Columbus last year when we got swept and we had the best record, I think, or the most points, or we tied the most points any team had ever gotten before in a season, and then we lose and we get swept in the first round. Like this was their redemption. They wanted it bad this year, and you could feel it. And I feel like when Stamkos came in for that one game and got that one goal, that really sparked that really lit a fire for the boys. And I think it was pretty awesome that they came back. They won. It was great. It was great watching them play. They were playing as a team, and it was just awesome.
It's kind of like the UMBC versus Virginia game in the NCAA tournament. Was it 2 years ago now? Where Virginia, number 1 seed, got beaten by 16 seed for the first time ever.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, but I remember, I remember Lightning fans around me when I was in Syracuse, and some people who actually worked for the organization. Because Syracuse has the Syracuse Crunch, which is the Tampa Bay Lightning's AHL team. So I've been around some of these players and heard their names and all of their highlights and this year covering the Comets, really seen them up close. And so I remember the pain people felt when that happened last year, and they won the President's Cup like 2 years in a row. This year, I don't think they won the President's Cup because of how.
No, I don't think we got it this year.
I think the Bruins won it if they technically awarded it because of how it all worked out. But then they win the Stanley Cup, and that's the one that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
it was great. I watched every game of the playoffs. Didn't miss one game. It was just there to support the boys, and it was awesome when they finally won.
So what was the vibe in Tampa Bay, the Tampa area / online Tampa? Because we all know Florida's like much more open than maybe New York is, where I am, as far as people being.
Yeah, it's open. I didn't go. They did a boat parade. I didn't end up going down to Tampa just because there were a lot of people there, and I'm still social distancing and all that stuff. But I watched it on TV, and the energy was great. The support was awesome, and it was still great because the following Sunday, the whole Tampa Bay Lightning brought the Stanley Cup to Raymond James Stadium to support the Bucks as they played, and they were out there having fun and supporting Tom Brady and the team, and they got a W there too. So.
Yeah, it's suddenly a hotbed because not only is it the Stanley Cup champions, not only is it the Tampa Bay Rays, who are AL and maybe potentially the World Series champions here.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, it's either LA or Tampa is going to have like their second championship this year because LA just won the NBA. So that's a pretty interesting city matchup.
Yeah.
But Tampa Bay is doing well as a team. I think they're 4-2 or 4-2. Yeah. And but you're also hosting the Super Bowl this year. No matter who's in it, it's the host of the Super Bowl. So I mean, Tampa Bay is really the place for sports at the moment. Yeah,
no, for sure. And I think that's why we went out and we got Brady, we got Gronk, we got all these great players, and they want it. They want it bad. I think that I read or saw, you might know the statistic for this, but there's only one other team to ever host the Super Bowl in their city. I don't remember the exact.
I don't know why Miami is coming to mind right away, but I highly doubt that. That's the case.
I think there was only one. It's only been done once or maybe twice that a hosting city's team made it to the Super Bowl that year. It hasn't been. I'm sure you have access to a lot more statistics than I can look up. But
Google is very helpful. Google has great access.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up. There's nothing popping up right away. I'll have to check on that, and we'll get the information. Not off the top of my head, but I mean, suddenly, I heard a lot about Brady in interviews from this weekend saying that they're finally clicking and gelling. It took them that first game not great against the Saints.
Well, not having the preseason, I think definitely hurt as well. A brand new quarterback, especially Tom Brady, coming to a brand new team, and where the team's already established, and you have a new quarterback kind of coming into lead without having that preseason. I think that was a bit of a throw off, and I think that's why we were a bit rocky. I mean, we started off the season against the Saints and Drew Brees, who's just a future Hall of Famer. Hard, and they got a great defense as well. So the first game going against Drew Brees it isn't going to be easy, and we got the loss, but they are starting to gel now. I think this was the first time since I think 1984 I saw yesterday that the Bucs had a game without penalties too. They were leading the league in penalties, and they had 0 penalties in the game yesterday, and I think that definitely helped us as well.
Yeah, the game on Sunday, I remember them hearing that because going into the first half, everyone was like, the Packers were winning 10-0, but then all of a sudden the 2 picks, and one was a pick six, and one was just one offensive play, and suddenly the Buccaneers were winning. They're like, the fact that the Buccaneers hadn't been penalized once didn't help the Packers at all. Like,
no, for sure.
There's a definite balance for that also. That usually 10 yards here, 5 yards there. But no, when you have no penalties and then your defense is scoring, you do one offensive play to score 14 points.
Yeah, it was great.
Tampa Bay suddenly is looking great. But so which city in the country do you think is the most jealous right now of Tampa Bay suddenly taking the spotlight as sports hub?
I mean, I think New York's always had a great representation in championships. They haven't had any recently, so I think they might be feeling it a bit. West Coast, I mean, they the Lakers, with the Lakers just winning, they've always had a great feel there. With hockey, I think Detroit's always been a hockey town with the Red Wings and championships and stuff in the past. But I would say probably New York. New York's got so many. I think because New York's got so many teams and they've been around for so long. I think I would say New York. I know that's your neck of the woods, but
we got my Mets pennant right there.
I do. I see it. Yep.
2015, but New Jersey Jets and New Jersey Giants play in New Jersey, and we got the New Jersey Devils. So if you include those in, I mean, the Devils were the most recent. Not the most recent because you got the Yankees who won the World Series. Yeah. But Buffalo, they always say that's the only real team. We had the Buffalo Blue Jays this year, which is they're right down the street. I almost thought about going to the game and trying to stand on the highway to catch a foul ball, but they blocked that off. I really think it would be I think the city that might be most jealous right now is Boston. I don't know. I just feel like from being in the Stanley Cup and then a really good Bruins team get knocked out, and they got the Red Sox for so many years in a row, and
that's true.
And the Patriots, and now this year they lost Tom Brady to Tampa Bay direct.
That's true.
So and Gronkowski came back to go down there, so I feel like
just to play.
Yeah, all those factors. I think Boston, and he just got his first touchdown in 620 something days.
But he did take a year off, so you can't really count 365 of those.
Minus a few. There's been a few games that he's played in since he caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
But at least 5 this year. So
yeah.
But I think it's Boston. I think Boston would be. I just remember.
That's true. Actually, I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Remember them in the Stanley Cup against the Blues last year, and the fans in Game 7 stuck around just to boo the Lightning. So I feel like they're a passionate fan base also. But I see
every time we play Boston, whether it's a regular season or in the playoffs, it's always such a physical match. I think it's great that we've created such a rivalry with them, and it's such a great game. No matter what's going on, I always make sure I watch the Lightning and the Bruins because it always tends to be very physical and it's an awesome game.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, the Devils, New Jersey Devils, need to do a little bit of work, but they'll get back there. They made the playoffs a few years ago. They'll come back, take some time. But listen, the Cubs waited 100 years to win a World Series, so 102 years, so got time. But
you got time.
So what are your predictions? Obviously, you're predicting the Rays to win the World Series.
Yeah, I know I think I saw that they're underdogs. I think LA's favored in the series, I believe. But I think the Rays have got a great young team, and again, another statistic I heard watching the game the other day, where the long ball for the Rays is getting 65% of their runs or something, and they're just unstoppable right now. Again, not gonna lie, I got a little scared against Houston when you go up 3-0 in a series and they come back tied up. Yeah, where it literally comes down to one game, and every little error, mistake, or play counts. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but that's why we play the games, though. That's why we play the games, and Tampa Bay showed that they were the better team in that series right now. But then the Rays are strong. They got a young team, a lot of lefties. I think everyone on their team are lefties, or everyone but one or two. A lot of lefties, which kind of throws things off because a lot of teams aren't used to so many lefties. And with them hitting the ball right now and playing that defense, shortstop, third base, that line is almost unstoppable over there for the Rays. And I think it's going to go 6 or 7 games, and I just want to watch a really good series. That's all.
What do you think it's going to? What are some of the score predictions you have here? Like, for games, if you give me in order, game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to see if you can get them right in retrospect.
The scores of each game.
Yeah, the scores of each games.
Oof. All right. Game 1.
Let's see.
Dodgers take 4-3.
4-3 who?
Dodgers.
Okay. Dodgers. So Dodgers take game 1, 4-3.
Yep. Dodgers take game 1, 4-3. Game 2, Tampa Bay wins 3-1.
Okay. Staying in the range there.
Yep.
All right, game 3 now.
Game 3.
You're like projecting who they're starting as like their pitcher.
Yeah, exactly. So game 3, I'll go Dodgers. I feel like we're gonna take a slip. 5-1 Dodgers. Game 4, we'll turn it around. We'll win 5-4 Rays.
So it's back and forth. Close one. Yep. And the Rays have been one of the best teams this season, if not the best, winning one-run games, except for the 2 against Houston. Those are like the only 2 they lost, 4-3 in a row.
Yeah. What was that? That's game 4, right?
Yep.
Game 5, Rays win in a close one, 2-1.
Another one-run game. All right, so now we're 6. The Rays could clinch with this one.
Dodgers take the next one, 3-2.
Wow. Okay. So another one.
I really think it's going to go 7 games, and then the Rays will end up winning like 5-2. Game 7.
All right. If you get this is why this is great, because of all the calculations. If this winds up happening, like, listen, I made a bracket.
You showed it. Yeah, you showed it to me.
Oh yes, I did send it to you
before the playoffs started. You sent it to me.
I got everything right except for whatever reason I thought the Dodgers would choke in the against the Padres, because I just thought the Padres were really hot at the end of the season. But they beat the Padres, and then I was like, okay, so I had the Padres going to the World Series, so now the Dodgers going to the World Series. So if you allow me to make that change, I got the Dodgers beating the Braves correct. So now Dodgers, Rays. I have the Rays winning it. I got the entire American League Series right, and everyone was in shock. Like, what do you mean the Astros are going?
You you definitely had the Rays as winning the World Series too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And even though I have my Dodgers hat, and I'm rooting for the Dodgers in theory, although I'll root for the Rays because I kind of want to be right, and also that's kind of cool. Like, I like the storyline. Sometimes as a sports reporter, you find yourself maybe not as much attached to teams at some points, but sometimes just attached to like the storyline. Like
the story, for sure, absolutely.
So I've got my Dodgers hat. Probably will be wearing it, but at the same time, like you said, I just want to see a great series. But I have the Rays winning it. I think I said in 6 or 7 against the Padres originally, and I just kept that for the Dodgers because both the Dodgers are deep, but the Rays pitching and some of their prospects they called up for the playoffs, and I think they just called someone up for the World Series alone.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
I think from what I've seen, and I should have had this written down. If this were more of a journalistic piece we were doing here, I would have it ready to go. Who the player is, but someone posted on their Instagram a Rays #1 MLB prospect. Why don't I know who that is off the top of my head? I should really have that. And it's a picture of like the World Series patch on the Rays jersey.
Oh, nice.
They're like, someone might be getting a real big call up sometime soon. So,
oh wow.
But with the expanded rosters and weird ways the season has gone, like the Rays have shown that their younger guys are the ones who have suddenly.
For sure. Yeah, we've got a really young team right now, and it'll be fun to see what they do with a full season starting next season too. Everyone's like, oh, these championships aren't real; they're half seasons, and they're eating it to play a real playoffs and all this stuff. But I mean, either way, we still would have been successful. So
it's going to be interesting. So they had that boat parade, which is interesting. I've never heard of that before, but I guess Tampa Bay.
I think they were trying to try to install the social distance thing too, so people aren't so close. Yeah. So the players and the coaches and the teams and stuff, they went down the river, the Hillsborough River on boats, and people just lined the riverside and just kind of supported them.
That's pretty awesome. To be able to have the parade and wear that shirt proudly.
It's awesome. It's awesome to see championships coming back here. And like I said, a lot of people, when you think of Tampa Bay, you don't think of championship town, but I mean, it's got a lot of people buzzing and a lot of people talking about it now, which is so awesome. Lightning started it off. The Rays, hopefully, and I think the last game, if it goes to Game 7, I think I saw was on October. It was Halloween night. Hopefully they can close it out before then. And then, of course, we're early in the football season, but if anyone can do it, it's the GOAT. So Tom and the team, and we have all our receivers back now, which is great too. Godwin coming back last game yesterday, and it's just going to keep building up. It's going to be great.
So who does the Tampa area root for in basketball? Are there a lot of like Heat fans?
I mean, the Orlando Magic are the closest. Tampa's just not really big with the basketball scene, just because we just don't have a team. Yeah. But I mean, I support the Orlando Magic. I support the Magic there. So, being born and raised in Florida, it's good to see Florida teams doing well. It's great.
Well, because I asked because the Heat were in the championship. So I mean,
yeah.
Claim the East.
I definitely go for all Florida teams. Like in
basketball.
In basketball, I was definitely going for the Heat. They didn't pull it off, but so it's all good.
It's a good run. They beat the Bucks and all that too. I was surprised.
No, they did. Yeah,
it was like a 5 seed playing the Lakers. So yeah, it's pretty good. But with such weird years, it's all who became like the Nets, right? The Brooklyn Nets were one of the great teams. They were good enough to make the playoffs, even if they lost a few games and they returned.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But their whole team was either not playing or injured after that.
You're right, of course.
Coronavirus. Yeah. So it wasn't, it's not exact, but it's about overcoming adversity in sports. And
yeah, for sure.
Clearly, Tampa teams are figuring it out.
Absolutely. Hopefully that continues. And I think if the Rays end up, when the Rays end up pulling this off, if they can beat the Dodgers, I think that gives momentum and it gives the Buccaneers something even more to fight for, to keep that kind of streak going with the Tampa Bay teams winning.
Yeah. You think they pay attention to each other about
Oh, 100%.
And it's interesting because, a lot of the players aren't from those areas, but they choose to either live there or they play there while they're there. And so they really have adopted this culture. I'm sure it's fun for them too, to be in this, winning championship scene. And Florida.
Yeah, when the Rays beat the Astros the other night, Stamkos, Tom Brady, they were all tweeting about like, let's go Tampa Bay. Like it's awesome to see the support from the other teams to the other teams, in the sense of just bringing the championships home.
And social media allows us to do that.
Which is great.
Interact directly and them with each other too. But that's great. That's cool. Well, congrats on the Stanley Cup champions.
Thanks, dude.
I'm sure I'm still not holding a grudge about when the Lightning played the Devils that one series, when the Devils did make the playoffs. But things happen. If anything, what the Lightning have taught me is you can lose in the first round one year and then win the Stanley Cup.
And come back and win the next. Yeah.
So the Devils are not out.
There you go.
Positive. The Mets, we'll see. And but yes, I enjoy the Lightning, and hopefully things are good down there so that I could come to a game eventually soon.
Buddy, sounds good.
It's interesting to have fans at some of these games. So
it's great to see fans in stadiums again. Just it looks like all the teams have been social distancing, which is great, and it obviously just gives the players a little more to play for than just background crowd noises. So
I think that now that I'm thinking about it, the perfect way to conclude this is with that parade on the boats, because it's a perfect mix of sports and cruising.
There you go. Awesome. Let's do it.